Alrighty, this is the video replay for the third week game against, no, this is fourth week game against the Princess program. Just run through the draft here real quick. Ban NP. Okay. I think NP is a target ban for Kyrix, I think. And then you guys should take out the Arc next. Oh no, that's right, you don't take out the Arc, which becomes a big issue. Brewmaster. That was a problem game one. I don't think you needed to take that out again. That wasn't nearly as effective as the Arc Warden ends up being. He's a solid brew player, but wasn't that great, and you didn't, end up in positions where the brew completely decimated your game plan, whereas I feel like the Arc Warden does. So target ban Underlord against Kai again. That makes sense. Snapfire, since you guys just tried that. It's a shame that you lose it. Ogre, and I think you take Jakira or something here, which is pretty solid. They take the Clock. That's a shame. Jakira would be great against the Clock. Nope, you take Venge. Okay, I don't know what the strat for that is. Maybe you guys are going Venge Drow, or you're hoping to go Venge Drow. But right now that doesn't look like anything yet. Revenge is an okay laner, but not as strong as the Ogre or the Jack. Yep, need to take Arc. So now you guys have to start thinking about a counter pick to this. There's lots of good counters for Arc. There's Brood, Meepo, PL, maybe Invoker, Legion Commander. Not sure how many of those they ban. Really, you should cheese them back and you should take Brood. Brood is a huge counter to Arc Warden. Oh, they immediately ban it. Okay, that makes sense. So you guys take out Sven Morph, they take out Wind Ranger. I don't think Wind Ranger is really a counter, but maybe they think it is. Or they just figure Hansen's Wind is good. Slark, okay. Quap wouldn't have been amazing. Seems reasonable. You guys should take, you guys should probably angle to take either Legion Commander or PL. LC or PL are probably good here. Which is a little irritating, but not a big deal. So on offlaners, you're looking at what? Mars. Mars would be good. Get the Clock off of somebody. Bristleback would be okay, but not as great. Tide. Tide's okay. If Arc is close enough to the Tide Ravages, those are going to work out nicely. Clock goes on, so when Tide just counter ults. Even though the Lich is going to have Frost Shield on probably the Clock Initiator, maybe in Slardar now. That's okay. Yeah, I remember they take Ursa in this game, which counters the Tide. Oh, that's right, you guys take Jug as your carry. I don't love the Jug here at all. Arc Warden just pulls his clone. You waste the Omni Slash, maybe you bait it out with an Axe, but that's not great. Jug doesn't have a way to get away from the Clock, so again, he just has to tank all the Clock damage and control, unless he wastes Manta or an Ag Swift Slash, but those aren't great either because you really want to use those to get away from someone else or work with the cores. You don't want to be using your only evasive stuff on the Clock. So yeah, the Juggernaut doesn't feel great here at all. You guys take the Invoker now? You took Jug last? That's weird. So Invoker's okay. The Forge Spirit helps in lane with the Arc Warden. And then the Cataclysm combo with Ravage is okay if you get it. I don't remember seeing any of those, but maybe I will. Against Slardar, it's pretty good. With single control, you got plenty of control so far. 4 stuns with the Tide. So your carry doesn't need a stun, so the Jug is okay, but I would have really preferred a PL or a Legion Commander mid here. And the Jug carry is just so-so. Alright, let me pick the Ursa here, I'm pretty sure. So they banned Drow, which kills the Venge Drow strat, but I don't think you guys were going for that. If you were still thinking of Drow here, that would have been really, really bad. So glad you didn't take the Drow. Spectre wouldn't have been terrible. In fact, I actually like Spectre better than Jug here. So I think that was a good ban on their part. You guys took out Faceless Void yourselves, which is a shame, because you should have taken Faceless Void. And then the Ursa is just good against both Jug and Tide. Doesn't really care about any of the others. You know, if you guys are good with the controls and moving as a team, he'll want a BKB, but I don't think he'll need one. And I won't remember if he gets one or not. He probably does, but we'll see here in a bit. Alright, so I'm going to let the lanes run out, and then we're going to run the Strats AI, see what the algorithm says. And then I'm actually going to swap out the Evoker for the either LC or PL just to see how those turn. I'm not as concerned about the Jug. I don't think your win rates were as affected, but I do think the mid matchup and the mid-late game is questionable. Alright, so a couple minutes in, let's pull up Strats, see what it says. Alright, off safe, mid, soft support, hard support. So it has your supports backwards. It thinks you should have gone Venge is the hard support, not as big of a deal. And for them, mid, safe. They did run the Lich up there, didn't they? Because it was a clock down bottom that was giving you problems. Okay. So, for whatever reason, the last update broke Strats. It doesn't give you the lane matchups, statistics, or any of the strength and weaknesses. I don't know why, but this has been a problem for last patch or so. Ursa Lich versus Tide Venge, that feels like a dire advantage. The Ursa ends up going for movement speed items. I remember that. He goes like Orb of Venom, Windlace, and straight to Boots, which is really painful for the Tide. The Venge goes for Windlace himself, which is a good counter. I think once he sees the initial Windlace, or just even if you bought anyway. But the Venge does too little here to slow down the Ursa, unless somehow you manage to completely harass out the Lich, but I don't think that's going to happen. This is more of a skill-based matchup, so the Invoker, I think, is at a slight disadvantage here. Jug Ogre, Clock Slaughter. I think this should have worked out just fine. I would say this is probably a wash, but the problem, and I remember from watching the game, the Clock roams a lot, and unfortunately, the Ogre ends up following. And so rather than letting the Clock roam and maybe snipe one or two couriers and get some deep wards and overall be, level 1 at minute 4, you sent the other P5 to go chase and counter. And the problem with that is the one-on-one matchup is terrible for Jug. So Jug Slar is Slar favored, and if you had just left the P5 in lane, then you guys would have done better. 2v1 against the Slar, you would have basically forced the Clockwork to go back to laning, which he doesn't really want to. And it would have worked out a lot better. I don't think you got any spin stun or spin slow kills either. A lot of the value in a Jug slow or a Jug stun lane is you need to get that level 1, level 2 kill. And I don't think you managed to spin down anybody this entire time. I don't know why. We'll have to watch that again. I don't know what this is all about. Other than deer hunting, I'm going deer hunting, but I don't know what that last message was. So yeah, I'm going to say that this should be pretty good, but it ends up being worse because the support's split off, and so it's really just 1-1 Jug Slar, and that's not good for you guys. So let's lock this and try and theory craft this to let's try PL first. See what that comes out to. Okay, better late, not great overall, and let's try the Legion. Interesting, even worse late, but really strong win chance early, either way. That's kind of interesting. 44-45, Invoker's really good early. So that's a shame that happened that way. I wonder if I can select Brood, even though it's been taken out. It's not selectable. It's a shame. I would like to know what the Brood numbers are there. But all right, enough of that. We'll go into the play-by-play. Well, I think he's been hacked. I had to guess, or his kid is on the pooter again. signed out? I thought it was... Okay. Perfect. Alright, so same plan as always. We start the 5, move our way up. We'll take a look at starting items here in a little bit. Actually, I can just rewind for that. Alright, so we'll let the Jug pick what he's going to get, and then take a look at everyone's items. Alright, we'll just start the Ogre. Actually, we'll do everyone in order. There's no reason to do them all early. Alright, 2 sets of tangos. You only gave 1 to mid? That's a little weird. But okay. Ogre's awfully tanky. You got a lot of health regen naturally. That's basically 10. So it's really strong in lane. I don't think you need all that for yourself. You should have given 1 more to your mid. Double mangoes is good. Double clarity's not as thrilled about that. The iron branch I really don't like. You have a wand queued up? You do. Okay, so it's better now with the wand. And then the observer ward. I think you actually do block this spawn camp here, and if you do block the camp, then that's excellent. Perfect. So that is well within the box. So that probably forced the clock to roam even more, as opposed to pulling back the wave. I'm not sure if clock ever tried. I'm going to keep an eye on that and see if he even attempted to pull the hard camp out to sort of reset the equilibrium in the offlane, but I sort of doubt that happens at this point. Alright, so I don't love this. You guys are all hanging out really far away. So right now you're 5 seconds out, and so this is not good. You guys are way too far away. You're not even going to be close if you want to contest this. Your mid is staying all the way back to block. That's fine. These guys are staying up here. They're going to easily, get 1, but you guys aren't even contesting. So for some reason, you guys decided to not even play the first 30 seconds. You didn't even try to contest, and because of that, it looks like you're going to go 1 for 3 on runes. Why am I not signed out of chat? I don't know. Maybe that's just going to stay there forever now. Alright, so back to the lane. But that's really terrible that you didn't stay, especially considering early on at the rune fight is a perfect spot to get a spin kill. So you could get the slow and the slow from the ignite and the spin, and Jug should have, someone down to half health, if not better, by the time you get back to lane. So that was a mistake. How am I still getting messages from him? I turned off my friends. Yeah, offline. Alright, checking the clock, that's good. So you notice that clock has boots. You need to communicate that, I'm sure you did, and watching the ward. This ward has been excellent for you. So basically, this clock is dancing around thinking he's smart, but you have seen all that. What happened to your ward that was right there? Did that just... you kill that somewhere? That's weird. No, it's back now. I see it on the mini-map. For some reason it's glitching out. Yeah, see right here, I understand the idea. You saw him ward before in the first game, but level 1 he's doing more damage than you are, especially if you're not trying to hit back. Okay, I see you're going for a courier. But still, you're sort of wasting your time playing around in this area. There's not a whole lot you can do here, and you're letting the clock get the free hits, which do an awful lot more damage than your ignite. It's a good D-ward though, so force him to get more money. I think the clock is... he probably watched that not spawn and realized that that's warded, which is good, but he doesn't even need a D-ward right now. You really want to be sticking close to the lane to help Slardar, or help Jug get harassed on Slardar. Ooh, that's a mistake. Okay, so, well, that's not your fault. Jug doesn't have boots, Clock has boots, so what's the speed difference? 305, Clock is up to 355. Yeah, you're 50 behind. You're not even going to come close to running him down if Ogre doesn't get these slow. And of course, you did slow him, but he ended up showing up to that well after the slow was over. And even if it was still going, it would have ran out far sooner than the spin would have. So that was a big mistake there. You guys missed your first chance for a kill. And it may not have actually been a chance for a kill, but Jug shouldn't have left the lane and wasted his spin. It's good that you're man up there, but you need to ignite him if you're going to keep him in that area. And you let him get that tree out from you. You needed that tree more than he did. You should stay and trade with him. So your regen is up to 13, and his regen is what? 9. And that's only because he's got the tango going, really. So you need to stay there and man fight the clock. If you're going to stand up to him while he's got battery assault going, then you definitely need to stand up to him while he doesn't have battery. That was another wasted spin. I don't know why Jug felt the need to do that. I'll figure that out on his replay. You need to eat another tango. You're low and you've been low for a minute. You need to eat that tango and go back to harassing that Slardar and force the clock back to lane. You're doing nothing right now. This is completely wasted time. Clock is off doing something, so harass and go 2v1 while you can. No, right there. Ignite, stun, anything. You're 2v1 for no reason. There you go. Run up and hit him. Don't be scared to hit the Slardar. He has a couple levels on you, but you've got 2 people. He's now wasted his stun. He wasted his bash. So the bash goes through Magic Immunity. The stun doesn't. So if he has the stun, it doesn't stop Jug's spin. Only the bash does. And then as long as you keep your stun ready on the side, then you basically cancel those out. He stuns, you stun, and then Jug's spin is still going. That was probably a little wasted, so he would have to hit the courier twice to kill it, so you could have just gone with the ignite instead of stun. But this is fine too. Yep, and just stay with him and trade. You're level 2, he's level 1. This is a fantastic time to run him down. Yep, hit that ignite, and he has to keep running. Alright, basically you've chased him out to his fountain at this point. That's perfect. Now what you need to do at this time is while clock is running all the way back across the map, you need to stay and harass the Slardar. Or stack and pull, that's fine too, but one of those two things needs to happen. And preferably, it's really harass the Slardar, because going 2v1 is a fantastic opportunity, and you're not going to get it in a few seconds when he comes back. So while you're both, level 4, or the cores are level 4, he's basically, level 6, because he's got your 2 levels on top of his 4. That's a rough calculation. It's not accurate, but still, the 2 of you against him is a good opportunity to beat him out of lane, and at least take some of his regen. Alright, so there's a lot of courier protecting, and I understand that you're worried about the clock getting the couriers, but the thing is, the clock just got ran back to the fountain. There's no way he could have ran over here to, sort of this area in the lane. So while he's running away, you don't need to worry about that. Go for the rune, click, click, spam your clicks, and you got one good. That's not good that the Slardar came to help, though. You're probably just dead here. I don't even think you can get out there. That's a nice attempt. No, doesn't happen, yeah. It didn't seem like it would. Alright. Let's come back. Come back, you got 3 runes. Oh, and you're actually currying Jug's items. That's good. That is fantastic. I don't think the team has done that an awful lot this season. You don't even have to do it when they're trying to courier snipe. You can do it outside of courier snipes as well, especially when you're TPing back. In this case, you're just walking, but it is still safer. Your invoker's a little behind, but really you're not the one to gank. That should be the Venge. Clock is going in though, so you really need to take the opportunity to harass the Slardar now while you have the chance. You're really content to just leave Jug 1v1, and that's not excellent. I mean, it's okay, but it's not the best situation. Like right there, okay, so you pulled the camp and you came back into this wave. There's absolutely no reason for you to be over here in this wave. So this is Jug farming. Slardar is way up here. He's up in this hard camp, so he's not even contesting last hits or denies or anything. All you're doing is sapping XP at this point. You can stay at the small camp. You can last hit the small camp for your own gold. You can deny your own creeps to deny the enemy XP. You can contest the Slardar at the hard camp, but there was no reason for you to be right here in this area with the Jug. Alright, so you see the clock, you know it's there, you guys save the courier, that's good. I think you end up losing this courier anyway somehow, which is weird. You need to just sit this courier right here and leave it for a minute. Jug doesn't have any new items coming. And yeah, clock gets 1 hit because he didn't even wait for the courier to regen. So really, you should have waited for the courier to finish regenning. Trying to get that courier was a waste. It was way faster. That was a waste of an Omni, but it's not your fault. Yeah, so that Omni was really thrown away. You need to pop that Clarity now, since you're running away and you have time. There you go. And really, you're got a lot of regen, a lot of natural. Ogre is a character with really high natural regen and armor, and you're not abusing that at all in lane. You're really missing out on some of the biggest points of value for why people take, you know, ogres as support. You really want to be in there trading with these guys, harassing. All that. You revealed you had vision right there, so because you hit him from so far with the fire blast, that's not a big deal. But he does know that you see him somehow. Does he have tranks now? No. Oh, windlace. Okay, that's why he's so fast. And again, get in and hit the Slardar. You're not doing anything to force the clock to 2v2. And really, you wanna force the clock into a less than ideal 2v2 situation. Because you, with your double hits on the ignite, is better than, you know, clock trying to get a bunch of battery assaults, because Jug is just gonna hide in the wave. I don't mind you coming back for that one, since clock is in the area, but again, this ward should be spotting him enough that you don't have to worry. Yeah, see, every time you run up to the wave and you ignite and maybe think about a stun, I don't think you've right-clicked the Slardar once in this entire lane. And maybe it happened like really early on, but this Slardar has been completely free-farming basically as far as he's concerned. Because when the offlaner goes 1v1 with the enemy P1, especially when it's a favorable matchup, this is basically free-farming for him. Jug is getting bullied out because Slardar is going to basically prep his bash by hitting the creeps a couple times, and then make sure that every time he hits the Jug, it's with one of the extra bashes for the stun and the bonus damage. So he is having a great time, and you are not right-clicking him at all. And as much as the clock has been playing off in the jungle doing silly things, you guys could have just risked your couriers and really beat the hell out of the Slar and basically won that lane, and either forced the clock to give up and come back 2v2, or, you know, basically let Slardar get completely bullied out. But you haven't right-clicked the Slardar at all. I don't think you've communicated any more spin attempts. So you should have gone for probably 4 spin kill attempts with the Jug at this point. Because even if the spin kill doesn't work, it should take out half of someone's health. You throw the stun, Jug starts spinning in. Slardar can't bash to stop the spin because he's magic immune, so he has to try and get a third proc bash hit. As opposed to the stun, and then you have your own stun for even if he manages to stun your Jug defensively. You then stack your stun on top of the Slardar, and both of them stay in position, but the Jug is spinning them to death, and the two of you run them down. Clock has to run in, waste his cogs. Clock is a really low mana pool hero too, early on. He has a really bad time, you know, sort of saving up enough juice to throw his spells. And so if you make him waste cogs a couple times defensively, he's then having to waste hundreds of gold on, you know, his own clarities or mangoes, probably mangoes, because you're just going to ignite pop him from far away. So I think you guys missed a huge opportunity to really harass this lane more. There was one good attempt where the Jug tried to come over and spin, but it was after you'd already used up all of your ignite timing, and I think Jug just sort of gave up even trying it. And you have to really tell him when there's a good opportunity for him to go for a spin kill, especially as the captain, and sort of, you know, force some more movements. Because yeah, that lane really shouldn't have gone as bad as it did, and the Ogre is such a strong laner that it should have had a much heavier presence there. Alrighty.